I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Thanks for joining us. Okay, well, I got a story coming out of Vancouver. Yeah, it's a housing story, and it's an interesting housing story, and how the development is really going nuts. And yeah, pre-builts and developments happening, but at what cost to the existing landowners, tenants, or existing homeowners? Well, let's take a look at that right now. All right, before we go in, let's go into the scan here. Guys, you know what? I'm kind of heartbroken because Kingsway, home of Vancouver diners Sal y Limon, straight out of Brooklyn Pizzeria, awaits buyers for $15.8 million. So this little chunk of land, little corner here piece on the corner of Kingsway and Fraser, I used to go up here all the time and eat at Sal y Limon. It is a really good taco place. And guess what, guys? They're going to remove this to put up more condos. And it's really sad to see, we're going into 2021. Housing affordability is more unaffordable than it ever has been, and it's getting worse. So just before lockdown started, a strip mall in one of Vancouver's foodie heavens. I call it heaven. It says havens. No, heaven. This place is amazing to eat. The two restaurants there are amazing. Came on the market. Lee and Associates listed 701 Kingsway, a retail property that serves as home as a number of popular eateries. These include Sal y Limon voted by straight readers as 2020 as one of the best Mexican restaurants in the city. Yes. Another is straight out of Brooklyn Pizzeria, picked by readers of this paper in 2017 as the best pizza by the slice. Oh, by far. I mean, you go in there, you grab a slice. You don't have to get a whole pie. It tastes amazing. So there it is. They want to sell the property, of course, and the price tag is $15.8 million. So if you guys want to keep this place around, maybe even be a good Samaritan and not have to redevelop it, I would strongly recommend picking this up and leaving it as is. And don't increase the rent. If you're a good Samaritan and have a ton of cash and have nothing to do with it, go ahead and buy this property and just leave it as is. Maybe even let them know, hey, guys, we're going to keep your rents the same. We're not going to do nothing to you guys. You guys are a historic. Man, if I was the city, I'd actually buy this and leave it as is. Because it's going to get to a point where there's going to be nowhere to go in the cities. There's going to be nowhere to go. Once they close down the best Mexican restaurant, there's almost nothing left after that. And a pizzeria, lots of cool places to eat here. I think they have pho in here too. So once they get rid of that, hasta la vista, baby. That's going to be another drive-by where you got to keep driving further out to find somewhere to go to eat. And that's not good. Especially, look at all the people that live in this area. Let's go to deep article scan. Look at all the houses and stuff. Houses, low rises. A lot of people live here. A lot of people eat in these little eateries to get out of the house and kind of, get out, take a walk, grab a little snacksy waxy. Yeah, so that's what's happening there, and I'm very, very disheartened to hear that. All right, so here it is, guys. Let's go into deep article scan for this one. This one's amazing. I love this. Let's open this up so you guys can see the images at full force here, because you won't believe your eyes. Homeowner, but you could say owners too, because there's a couple of people that are being affected by this. Left fuming as crazy developers put up a fence blocking his garage door. So look at this. Okay, there's a little bit of a look at his garage door. Okay, and to the left, look here. Is the fence they put up. So he can't open his garage. He can't bring out his recycling and garbage bins to be picked up. I don't even know what to tell you guys. Development is crazy, and basically Canada, all the countries in the Commonwealth, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Western United States, from Seattle all the way down to San Diego. They've just been exporting homes to foreign investors. Now, foreign investors are buying up these lots, like I just showed you earlier. But this is not that lot. This is another lot here. Buddy can't get out of his garage. So, Buddy's left fuming after developers put a fence stopping him from opening his garage door, leaving him with just 3 feet of access. Wow. He was stunned to find the wooden fence had been erected overnight by developers building new houses at the back of his property, the Sun reported. So technically, I mean, does this alleyway belong to the owner? You know what I'm saying? So what happens is these developers, they're lawyered up, right? So they know where to look at and what to pick at and what to take apart, right? So they saw, well, he doesn't own this property here, so we could go ahead and erect a makeshift fence here. But, I mean, I think it'd be nice to let him know. Now, let me tell you my situation on this. I have an older Corvette, right? You guys know that. I talk about it. We drive it once in a while on the channel, right? Now, if I had that garage there, let's say, I would store it in that garage, and I'd say, well, I can't wait till spring. Spring is what, 4, 8, 10 weeks away. I'm going to be taking her out, getting her ready for the summer, and I'm going to be, doing a few, repairs here and there. Spring comes, this stupid erection of a fence is there, I can't get my car out. So, even summer, this thing could be up there for a year or 2 years. They could go on strike, these workers. This thing could be up there for 5 years. So what does the guy do? So here it is. He said that the fence appeared overnight, marking the boundary of the new housing. So if the new housing... Now, guys, take a gander at this, okay? You got the scaffolding here, right? Scaffolding. So you got... How much space does he realistically have? Because look at the property line up here. Look it up here. Take a look up here, guys. Look how the property line disappears into his property. You see that? But the problem is you got scaffolding. So you're going to have at least 4 feet going this way. Yeah, you have enough to move a car around because the porta potties are throwing me off. But you do have enough room. From here to here, he has enough room to get in and out of here too. So I was kind of thrown by the angle of the fence into his property. Kind of threw me for a curveball. So this is nuts. But the thing is, people, when it comes to construction and when it comes to pre-builts and when it comes to that stuff, this stuff is priority. And I'm not in favor of it. But it's priority because Canada exports homes. And if it wasn't for Canada exporting homes, we would be in a recession with all this money laundering, right? So you got to keep that in mind. This is keeping our fake economy afloat because Canada's going to have to reset somehow and start to develop jobs and create job opportunities in the private sector so that allows people to for their wages to be garnished so we can continue on this whatever we've been going on for the last since World War II. But ever since the last 2010, Canada's been opening its markets to the world, and look what's happening. Look, it's destroying, families with backyards now. What families in backyards? The fence stopped tenants. So tenants, it's not just him, from getting on the path at the back of their house, from the garage and taking out bins out. So garbage bins can't be taken out. In order to do that later, his tenants had now to wheel the bins through the house. Oh, wow. If they are moved by the fence back or just a foot, the door wouldn't be able to open in the situation. But they wouldn't listen. Well, again, they're not going to listen because these big companies are always lawyered up. And then when the project is done, they file for bankruptcy and then they move on to something else. And that's usually what happens. They file for bankruptcy all the time so that when something happens to the building, nobody comes back on them, right? And then the strata takes over when then the strata mafia starts kicking in and destroying potential, So the owner insists that he is planning permission to build the garage at the back of his house in a side cup after being given the go-ahead more than 20 years ago. So he was allowed to build that garage back there, but it was part of it's on his property, so he did get the proper permits and the proper, you know what I'm saying? So these guys properly went ahead and said, "Oh, you see this was put on after the house was whatever." So these guys again are lawyered up, so they're smart. The garage overlooks which okay, so this is actually coming out of the UK. So I'm not picking on Vancouver like I'm pecking it out. This is out of the UK. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. The UK, if you guys remember, the former mayor, or if he's still the mayor of London, said, let's chew up our green spaces. Let's chew up all the building areas. Let's chew up our alleyways. Let's take away everything. Let's build. Because England, or the city of London, was under the impression they were under a supply and demand issue, and it wasn't. Sorry, guys. This looks like Vancouver here, with the rainy and the cold and it wouldn't surprise me too if something like this happened in Vancouver. But there it is. There's the lot right there. And poor guy can't do, and the law in England, it might be even more treacherous. I don't even know how the law or the zoning laws work there. So, yeah. So here's his backyard. So here's his thing. Here's his wall. This gate closes, right? This is his property here still. And I guess this would be like a commute property or a mutual alleyway or a mutual property. Wow. Well, it doesn't matter where it comes from. The fact is it's happening, and there it is right there. And London is been in a major property disaster where locals can't even afford to buy in their own cities anymore. And I think it's is it 8 million? $8 million in, let's see, England. 8 million in England. Poverty. So a lot of people are living like this here. A lot of people are living like this, guys. And it's all to do with housing and development and population shifting patterns. 8 million people in England living in unstable housing units. This is crazy, where people can't afford to live a decent bacteria-free lifestyle, if that's so to say. And hold on. Watch this. And then in England, food banks now outnumber McDonald's in Britain. So there it is. And look at Lamborghini. More food banks now outnumber McDonald's in Britain. So I have all these, basically, so 1,249 branches are now in operation since they first opened. So there it is. There is more food banks. So England isn't on the path of England's been bought. England is earlier. England opened up its shores in 2004 to foreign investing and bringing in huge droves of money were coming in from tons of foreign investing all over the world. The Chinese came in around 2014, and that's when you start seeing the big Chinese presence. And then if you go to London right now, they're building like Chinese owner only towers where Caucasian or people from England are not allowed to live in there. I know, look it up. I'm not making this up. So yeah, that's what's happening, and that's what happens when you sell out your people, and that's what happens when when politicians sell out their countries and export homes as a business. And this is happening here in Vancouver. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you've been watching this whole time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to set your reminders for Mike in the Night this Saturday. We'll talk then. Thanks for watching.